from DDR1 to DDR5. Before diving into the generations, we need to understand what DDR stands for. The acronym means Double Data Rate. Simply put, before DDR existed, memory, called SD-RAM, only sent information once per processor beat. DDR arrived to allow memory to send double the data in that same beat. It was the equivalent of upgrading from a one-way street to a two-way avenue. DDR1, year 2000. DDR1 was the answer to computing becoming increasingly heavy. Before it, computers stuttered constantly. Its capacity was limited to just 1 gigabyte per stick, and its voltage was 2.5 volts. The problem was that by using so much electricity, the sticks got extremely hot. Combined with the fact that we were using Windows Millennium at the time, one of the most unstable systems, the result was computers that froze or restarted if you asked too much of them. DDR2, year 2004. DDR2 didn't just aim to be faster, but smarter. The goal here was to allow more programs open at once without the PC struggling. As an improvement, the voltage was lowered to 1.8 V, meaning less heat and a quieter PC. Additionally, the position of the notch, the small gap in the pins, was moved so no one would accidentally try to plug a DDR2 stick into a DDR1 slot. In terms of capacity, we saw 4 gigabyte sticks for the first time, allowing photo editing and games to start looking much better. DDR3, year 2007. DDR3 was the generation that truly made computers popular for everyone. With energy efficiency, it dropped the voltage to 1.5 volts. This was a revolution for laptops, allowing batteries to last for hours instead of minutes. Another huge contribution was dual-channel technology. This allows 2 sticks of RAM to talk to the processor simultaneously. This is vital if you use a PC without a dedicated graphics card, as integrated graphics rely on RAM to function. DDR4, year 2014. DDR4 is the technology you likely have in your home right now. It is extremely reliable and fast memory. Its raw power pushed capacities up to 16 gigabytes per stick and speeds up to 3600 megahertz. Its ideal use is designed to coexist with heavy programs like Google Chrome, which devours memory, or high-end games that require an instant response. It's the first generation where 8 gigabytes became the minimum for work and 16 gigabytes became the ideal standard for gaming. DDR5, year 2020. DDR5 is the biggest technological leap of the last decade, designed for 3D rendering and artificial intelligence. Extreme speed. It starts where DDR4 ends, reaching speeds of 6,000 MHz or more. With its internal ECC or error correction code, the RAM has a chip that detects and corrects small data errors automatically for the first time. This prevents the PC from restarting out of nowhere when you're in the middle of heavy work or an important match. It is more expensive, but its performance is far superior for demanding tasks. DIMM versus SO-DIMM. Even if the internal technology is DDR4 or DDR5, the physical packaging changes depending on the device. You cannot install one in place of the other because they meet different space requirements. DIMM, Dual Inline Memory Module, is the standard format for desktop computers. They're long sticks, approximately 5.25 inches, designed to plug vertically into the motherboard. Their larger size allows for more robust heat sinks to handle long gaming sessions or intense work. SO-DIMM, Small Outline DIMM, is the compact version designed for laptops and small form factor computers. They are approximately half the length of a normal DIMM. Although small, they can reach the same speeds as their larger siblings today, though they tend to run a bit hotter due to the restricted space in laptops. The safety notch and incompatibility. A key engineering detail is the notch or slot in the pin row. Every generation, DDR2, 3, 4, and 5, has this notch in a millimetrically different position. This isn't for aesthetics, it's a safety measure. It physically prevents you from connecting incompatible RAM. If you tried to force a DDR4 stick into a DDR5 motherboard, you could cause a short circuit that fries both the memory and the processor. This means upgrading your RAM to a new generation almost always forces you to buy a new motherboard and sometimes a new processor.
How many gigs do you need today? 8 gigabytes, the minimum. Today, this is just enough for basic tasks like browsing with a few tabs or streaming. In modern games, you'll notice constant stuttering because the system has to move data to the hard drive when it runs out of RAM space. 16 gigabytes, the standard. This is the sweet spot for 90% of users. It allows you to play demanding titles, edit 1080p video, and have Discord and Chrome open at the same time without any slowdowns. 32 gigabytes or more, professional. This is the territory of content creators and professionals. If you stream while gaming, program complex software, or do 3D design, these extra gigs prevent your PC from saturating when the data flow is massive.
Frequency and latency. Frequency in megahertz is the raw speed, how much data passes through per second. Imagine it as the width of a highway. The higher the megahertz, the more cars or data fit. Latency is the time it takes for the RAM to receive a command and start sending the first piece of data. A 6000 MHz RAM with very high latency can feel slower than a 5200 MHz kit with low latency because it takes longer to get moving. The trick to double performance. This is the biggest secret to improving your PC without spending more. Single channel. Using a single 16 GB stick is like having a desk with only one drawer. Everything goes through the same path. Dual channel, using two 8 GB sticks, which add up to the same 16, allows the processor to read and write to both at the same time. This doubles the effective bandwidth and is critical if you use processors with integrated graphics, where you can see up to a 50% improvement in FPS in your games. RAM is the invisible bridge that connects your ideas to the processor. Choosing the right amount and configuring it in dual channel is the cheapest and most effective way to make any computer feel like new. If this video helped you understand what all those numbers on your memory box mean, subscribe to 8 Minutes Tech. How much RAM does your current rig have, and do you feel like you're running out of space? I'll read your thoughts in the comments.